Today we'll be discussing 10 tips to ease communication challenges faced by people with hearing problems and their family and friends. Hi, I'm Dr. Etiquette, founder of Quality Hearing Care Mumbai. We've been providing services to people with hearing problems for over the last 3 decades now. Many families are concerned about their daily communication breakdown with their hearing affected members. Of course, the best solution to this problem is a technology. That is to provide person with a hearing loss an appropriate device that helps him to hear better. However, at times these decisions are not made early enough, and this results in a stress due to communication breakdown. This period before decision is required to be managed, incorporating 10 effective lifestyle changes. There are 3 keys to this success. They are speaker, environment, and listener. Each of them effectively contributes to improve ease of communication. There are 4 important tips for the speaker. The first is to get an attention. When you start talking to a person with a hearing problem, call him by a name before you start talking. As when you call him, he focuses. And focusing is very important for the people with a hearing loss to understand what you are talking. The second is ensure that you face them and have enough light on your face, because that will provide them the visual cues which adds to the communication, like lip reading, your facial expression, or a body language. Third is do not speak too fast, and also give break between the sentences, as most of these people are old and they have some problem in communication when you speak faster. Number 4 is repeat. When you feel that they have not understood, please repeat it. But be careful that when you are repeating, don't speak loudly. Because if you speak loudly, your facial expression changes, and it may mean to a person who's listening to you that either you are angry or frustrated, and he might stop communicating. You can rephrase the sentence if you feel that a particular word is not being understood by a person. This will help the listener to understand what you're speaking with ease. The second thing is to look after the environment. Generally, people with hearing loss will need a speech lot more louder than the environmental sounds. So whenever you want to communicate with them, it is best to avoid communicating in a noisy environment, particularly when the TV is on, or a radio is on, or when you are in a kitchen, or when you are in a party. Just move out of a noisy environment or switch off the noise that is present in the environment before you start communicating with them. This will make it a bit easier for you to communicate with them. Now we'll discuss the tips for the listener, that is a person who's affected by a hearing problem. The first thing that he has to do is to focus on a speaker. Look at him, never do multitasking. Generally, they have a habit of looking left, right, looking at the papers while they're talking. This causes a lot of communication breakdown, and this should be avoided at all the time. It is better to inform the speaker about your need. It is not just enough to say that I have a hearing problem. You should inform speaker about your exact needs, like saying that you look at me, or speak slowly, or don't cover your mouth. Or you can also ask them for whatever additional help that you need in communication. Like avoid eating while talking to you, or chewing while talking to you. If you've not understood, ask for a polite repetition. It is very distressing to ask somebody what, because when you ask what, they feel that you've been trying to reprimand them. Instead of that, it is better to say what you understood. And if you ask whether whatever you understood and ask for a confirmation from a speaker, then he thinks that you are trying to understand rather than to ask for a repetition. If required, ask them to give it in writing so that you have more comfortable with important information. Avoid important conversation late in the evening, because you get tired. Listening without a hearing aid is an exhausting experience. Also avoid communication when you are sick or not well, because this also reduces your efficiency in understanding what is being spoken. Take help of a professional to give you guidelines about any other organization or the groups which can provide you the support and communication possibilities and guidance. It also can provide you other tips using various applications or other non-amplification supports for improving the communication. Today we have discussed the communication tips in general, but in case you need a specific situational tips for communication, feel free to contact us and request for them from us. We have about 15 to 20 certain specific situational communication tips, which includes all three: the listener's tips, speaker's tips, and the environmental tips. And this will be in a greater detail will help you to communication get better in those difficult listening situations. But most important is, do not let your hearing loss go untreated. Select an appropriate device for amplification for your need at an earliest to avoid other complications. I hope this is of interest to you, and if you feel that it can help the others, please share with them and subscribe for our newer videos. Thank you and take care.